What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over a lot of stuff the developers have been talking about on Twitter. Drunksy's been tweeting up a storm. There's just a ton of upcoming changes that we know about before they're officially announced or put into patch notes. And this is essentially solely attributed to the fact that DICE is, I guess, allowing some of their top guys to openly communicate on Twitter as to what is coming. So we get this information a little earlier than we may have gotten it before. Which is certainly very nice. So let's start going over this stuff. If you enjoy the channel, you want to keep up to date with Battlefield 6, this is the channel for you. Hit that sub button, sure to hit the like button, and I have a $650,000 tournament on December 10th that I will be competing in, and I'll be streaming it all the way through on my Twitch channel and this YouTube channel. Follow everything, first links in the description. So the first thing we're going to be addressing is the visibility, and this actually stems from a clip that I posted, which is of this guy that is essentially invisible, laying directly on top of trash bags in a dark corner, and I mean, he's just barely visible. And somebody added Drunksy on Twitter and asked him, is this kind of visibility intended? And of course he replied, not really. It's not good, that's for sure. We're discussing player visibility constantly, and we'll be iterating on it for the upcoming updates. It won't be all in a single update, as there is a lot to look at, and it's a balance to strike between art and gameplay. Players that are hard to see in dark areas, particularly when prone, is something that we're aiming to improve in the next update. This is obviously so great to hear. Player visibility is definitely a delicate balance. You don't want players being, you know, some sort of stark red like we're playing old Quake game, but you also don't want people that are blending into surfaces so well that you can just prone in the middle of the open like this guy was and get away with easy kills just because the game's visibility is so poor. Unfortunately, but predictably, there have been some disappointing replies to Drunksy's statements here. Some people in the Battlefield community feel that the visibility is fine and that we're just bad at the game, or we should check our monitor settings. And I think it's really unfortunate. This happens in every single gaming community, but it really happens a lot in Battlefield. There just seems to be a lot of insane people. And I don't really know how to put it any other way, like just downright actually insane people that skew conversations, that deny problems, that just try to blame the players for an issue that is clearly in the game. There isn't really a solution to this. It's going to continue until the fucking earth explodes, but perhaps we should just ignore them, and I certainly hope the developers ignore them because the visibility is definitely a massive problem in this game. As is the audio. Now, thankfully, Drunksy already commented on the audio a couple days ago as well. He said the entire in-game audio is receiving a full pass to solve some issues, including fixing some issues that caused some sounds to completely cut out, and they're still working on it. The audio in Battlefield 6 is abysmal. Audio is one of the most important things in FPS games because it allows you to get information to base plays off of, right? And the way Battlefield 6 is right now is it's difficult to see people, and the audio is inconsistent at best, which means from a player perspective, you're lacking a lot of essential information that is required to play the game at any decent level. I'm sure a lot of you have had multiple instances of enemies being directly next to you, above you, behind you, whatever it may be, and there just isn't any audio cue, and I'm certain that you would have played, or I would have played, that situation where those enemies are in close proximity to you way different if we got the information that they are that close to us. And I don't know about anyone else, but from my personal perspective, I know that I'm a really information-based player. I really need to have as much information available to me in order to make the best plays possible. And this is particularly true with audio because just the way that I play, I tend to react off audio quite a bit to make micro decisions, and that's really difficult right now in Battlefield 6. Something else that's really difficult to deal with in Battlefield 6 is just the irritating recoil mechanic that fucks with your aim. We knew this was a mechanic, unfortunately. It was confirmed to be one. But it's been plaguing the game, and it just kind of needs to be removed, and thankfully we have had some commentary on it, again from Drunksy. He says they will get it fixed. It's a complex issue. They're already cooking some improvements, and apparently they will work on it until it is 100% fixed. Can we please hold them to this? Really, like, the Battlefield community has this weird thing where say there's an issue and there will be a patch to fix this issue, but the patch doesn't fix it 100%, but a section of the community thinks that's totally fine if they push a patch and it only fixes it halfway. That's not going to work for me because, of course, here they say they're going to fix this recoil thing that's messing with the gunplay to 100%. So can we please hold them accountable? Let's make sure this issue is completely resolved so that we can all aim normally so that the gunplay feels, well, as it should. I'm sure you can tell I'm quite frustrated with the Battlefield community. I just think, unfortunately, we're in this game that has so many different types of players in it that the inevitability is nobody is ever really going to be satisfied with the direction of the game. There's always going to be infighting. And I think that really stems from Battlefield just shifting so heavily between game, you know, going from BC2 to BF4, and then BF4 to BF1, and then obviously Hardline in between that, and then BF5 in 2042. I mean, all the games are just so different in so many different ways, and I think naturally that attracts so many different players. And, well, you get what's happening in Battlefield 6 right now, where people are just constantly arguing 500 different opinions about how one thing should be, and, you know, the argument never ends. And from my perspective as a content creator, I mean, it's particularly exhausting because obviously, you know, I put my opinion out there for people to comment on, and then just trying to have a conversation with all these people is impossible. You know, I really cannot respond to everybody. I can only really get off like 2 or 3 responses before I'm just like, okay, all right, guys, you guys infight amongst yourself. But moving on to the final few things I wanted to mention, apparently there was a backend update for Battlefield 6 that might be live right now that did reduce some of the challenge requirements for the new California Resistance's limited time battle pass. They reduced the revive challenge requirement from 300 to just 30. And then the other thing they did is apparently in an upcoming update, you know those weird QE buttons in the class selection thing that causes you to accidentally switch class when you're spawning? So for instance, if you're support, sometimes you accidentally hit the E key and you spawn as recon, and then, you know, that's irritating. They're going to be getting rid of those buttons, as well as fixing mouse sensitivity, not including decimal points, and weapon optics randomly switching to the thermal sights. I'm sure you guys have had this bug where you're using just a normal red dot sight that's a 1x, and then it suddenly turns itself into a thermal red dot sight, which I have to admit, isn't it nice? I mean, with the way that the visibility is right now, I wouldn't mind a thermal 1x sight just to tide us over. They can take it away once they make visibility improvements, but until then, man, I mean, using thermal sights really makes the game a whole lot easier. So that about wraps up this news video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Your time is never taken for granted. And of course, today was Thanksgiving, and I just want to say I'm very thankful for the, you know, unprecedented support you guys have given me over this past month, or 2 months even since release. It's just been completely overwhelming to the point where I'm just going constantly. I mean, I'm just in constant go mode, staying up to 2, 3, even 4 in the morning, trying to get videos out for you guys, trying to finish videos, and I haven't done that since, well, maybe ever, actually. Battlefield 6 is definitely a unique experience because, of course, this is the first Battlefield game that I've experienced as a content creator that hasn't immediately died. And, yeah, it's a complete shift from how BF5 and 2042 were, where there really wasn't a honeymoon period at all. So it's all been super weird with the adjustment, and I've just been really busy, and I really do appreciate the amount of support and the nice comments I've been seeing on the tips videos. You guys really seem to enjoy that, and I feel as though perhaps I'm making, you know, a positive impact in terms of maybe helping people learn things they didn't know about Battlefield, or just maybe helping people improve their gameplay. And I think that's good. You know, I put on Twitter a couple days ago, or not a couple days ago, a couple months ago, that from the start of Battlefield 6, I would like to put out tips videos to try to improve maybe the overall competency of the player base, and, you know, maybe I'm making a small dent in that, so that's good. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe, hit the like button, and I will see you guys in the next video.